What's up, everyone, and welcome to Season 1, Episode 16 of Director's Spotlight. We are, of course, working our way through the entire filmography of Steven Spielberg. We're up to his 16th movie, The Lost World, Jurassic Park. I'm your host, Nate. I'm joined by my co-host, Alex.
Hello.
And Evan.
Hello.
And we are at 1997. So we're coming to the end of the 90s here. We got two more movies after this, and we get into his 2000s stuff. The Lost World, Jurassic Park, of course, sequel to the greatest movie of all time, Jurassic Park. This is his first movie.
Sequel, right?
Well, no, he did all the Indiana Jones movies.
Oh, totally forgot about that.
He did Indiana Jones, a few of them. He did a few of them.
Yeah, a couple of them.
I think this is the only other franchise that he did a sequel to, though. Yes.
Yeah.
1997, a 4-year break. He had the two movies in 93, Jurassic Park and Schindler's List, 4 years off, and then he had two movies in 97. This is the first. Now, before we get into the review, and I ask everybody, I know, Alex, we watched this like months ago because we did a Jurassic Park franchise ranking. Evan, is this one that you've seen more or less times than Close Encounters of the Third Kind?
Less times, but I do watch it part of the franchise, like with my son or something. It's not one I skip, like some people supposedly do, but I don't. Interesting.
Okay, so you've seen it a number of times, but not as many as Close Encounters. All right, well, let's get into some numbers here. There's some interesting. First of all, I had to really narrow it down to what fun facts I wanted to pick, and even still, these are kind of long, so bear with me. But there was so much information on this movie. I don't know. It seemed like there was more information about this one than the original Jurassic Park. But again, 1997, a $73 million budget. Box office of $618.6 million. So a big smash hit. What a shock. However, critically, this one didn't do nearly as good as the first movie. A 57% with critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, a 52% audience score. So not as well liked, even though it made a lot of money. Academy Awards, 1 nomination, and it was for visual effects, I believe. It did not win that award. So only 1, no score, no nothing like that. Now, let's get into these fun facts. I'll go as quick as I can. After the original novel's release, the first film's success, fans pressured Michael Crichton for a sequel. Following the book's publication in 1995, production began on a film sequel. So he ended up writing that book in 95 because everyone said, we want more. Filming took place from September to December 1996, primarily in California, with a shoot in Kauai, Hawaii, where the first film was shot. The Lost World's plot and imagery is substantially darker than Jurassic Park, and it makes a more extensive use of CGI to depict the dinosaurs in this film as compared to the first film. Now, they still used animatronics, and you could always tell when it's, which one is which, but a lot more CGI, 4 years later, technology is moving forward, so not surprising. For more than a year, Spielberg and David Koepp, who wrote the first film, also wrote this movie, were unsure whether to include a sequence involving a dinosaur rampaging in a city. Now, Koepp considered it a logical extension of the story in the first film and believed it would be the top sequence that viewers would expect to see, but noted that he and Spielberg had gone back and forth on whether to include it. This is a quote from Koepp. He says, the main reason not to do it had been that if it wasn't done right, we'd suddenly be remaking Godzilla. And Koepp felt that the sequence would only work for a short period of time before becoming unbelievable. So 2 months before the start of filming, Spielberg decided to change the ending to feature the often discussed city rampage, eventually settling on a T-Rex in San Diego. So that was added 2 months before filming. Almost didn't get it. And it is one of the more well-known sequences from this movie. So, but yeah, didn't want to remake Godzilla, so they kept it short. Now, many crew members from the first film returned for the sequel. Spielberg wanted Dean Cundey, his longtime cinematographer, to return as well, but he was busy preparing to direct Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves. So he said, I cannot be your director of photography. I have to direct the straight to DVD movie or straight to VHS. Honey, we shrunk ourselves. I don't know. That might have come out of the theater. I remember not liking it when I was a kid. Spielberg instead chose Janusz Kaminski, who he worked with on 1993's Schindler's List. And of course, he won an Oscar for that movie. Kaminski gave The Lost World a darker, more artistic look over its predecessor, leading to a more elegant and rich approach focused on contrast and shadow, which we'll talk about in the review, but you could definitely see that. This movie does not really look like the first Jurassic Park looks visually. Much of the film takes place at night this time around, and Kaminski looked at the films Alien and Blade Runner for visual references, which kind of makes sense now that you know, if you know that. Okay, last thing is the money here. Lost World took in $72.1 million in its opening weekend, $92.7 million for the 4-day Memorial Day holiday, including $2.6 from Thursday night previews. Now, in the U.S., that was just the U.S., which was the biggest opening weekend in history up to that point. It beat Batman Forever from 2 years before. Now, this made it the first film to reach $70 million during an opening weekend. For 4.5 years, the film held that record until the release of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone in November of 2001. So 4 years, pretty good. The film also had the biggest May opening weekend of all time, surpassing the previous records held by Twister and Mission Impossible. It would hold that record until 2002, when Sam Raimi's original Spider-Man film replaced it. So this was financially a big movie, big hit, held box office records for 4 and 5 years. And yet, and I'm sure you guys might agree with me, it's not looked back on that fondly by most people. A lot of the people I know, they don't love this movie. Or some people just don't even like it. And I'm interested to hear your guys' take on it. Let's see. Let's go with Evan first on this one. Evan, what are your thoughts on The Lost World, Jurassic Park?
I remember this one because I did see it opening weekend. I think I was part of that crew. New Jurassic Park movie, Spielberg. You're getting characters back. I think I just remember, how do you watch a movie going in with the first one being so perfect, right? We love the first one. The first one's being watched. I still feel like the hype was still there. A couple years later, I still remember toys and the movie still being talked about. I don't feel like this movie died down like a typical movie, like it has a 1 year shelf life. This movie had lots of it's in the theater for a long time. Then the VHS comes out to rent. Then the VHS comes out to buy, like it was able to capitalize on many different aspects. But I went in, I've always enjoyed it. I've never understood the complete hate. I know it's not as good. Like if we're comparing Jurassic Park in this together, there's definitely a fall in story. But as you described it, I thought it was very noticeable. This movie was not made out of someone saying, I have a good story. It was being made because people wanted more. Even the book was written out of pressure. So you could say the whole storyline feels that way. Like this does not feel a natural, like, oh, they're trying to come stuff up. Like the story just feels, why do they have a second island? Why weren't we talking about the second island in the first movie? Like you guys constantly why weren't we talking about this? Why did this dinosaur not show up in the first movie? Why is it on this one? Just roaming free. Like you just naturally, as you watch it, you start to think this doesn't make sense. Like the story feels pressure to make a sequel, like that typical thing. But as you watch it, I think it's a good story. I like the father-daughter story that we didn't get in the first one. We have Malcolm with his daughter that's a stowaway. And then you have Malcolm with his girlfriend, what's their name?
Julianne Moore.
Julianne. I think they actually have that good chemistry. I don't think it's annoying. But I think besides that, almost all characters become typical of any kind of monster movie at that time. I thought it was funny that they said, hey, I don't want this to feel like a Godzilla movie. And to me, that's a typical what it felt like from all the, like, everyone becomes, here's the Marine guy, here's this guy. Like everyone has the personality of the character they're playing that you've seen in all the movies before, right? Besides Malcolm and the daughter and Julianne Moore, that actually gets some character development. Everyone else just becomes the stick of who their character type is. I often forget like the middle part of the movie. Like I know the beginning, I know the end, but I often forget what besides like from the time what is that bus, the lab bus thing gets stuck in the like getting trailer. Pushed off and then till the very end where they're getting off the boat and the T-Rex runs through San Diego. Like to me, it's kind of lull. Like that middle part doesn't do much from those two bookends per se. But I enjoy it. I like it. It's not a terrible movie. I always make the joke, the scariest part of this movie is seeing the gas prices while the T-Rex runs through San Diego. Oh, yeah. I just always freak out about that because you just see that big gas station and it's like $1.29. I forget what it is. And you're like going. And I remember that was high back in California. Oh yeah. That was high. I was high back then. So, but there's nothing terrible about the movie, but there's not that greatness. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you watch Jurassic Park on that still gets you, like the music and everything still gets you to this day, where I think The Lost World is a solid movie. Like if it came out and wasn't related to Jurassic Park, I think it could have found people might have liked the audience better. It wouldn't have been a big hit, but I think that people naturally don't say what is good about it because they're always comparing it to the first one. But I like it. It's not bad. Yeah. Out of the original trilogy, I still think this is a little bit better than the third one. Not as good as the first one.
I'm not a bit. It's on record. I'm not the biggest Jurassic Park 3 fan either. But a couple things you said before I throw it over to Alex that is funny. So one, the score. You're right. The score for the first, and John Williams did the score for this movie as well. But he used a lot of the same themes, but then wanted to make it a more action sounding score. And it's good, but it's way less memorable. Like, I remember moments from this score, but I know the whole movie score you show me a scene, I know what music was playing during that scene. And this one, it doesn't have that same greatness, but it's good. It is still good. And the other thing you said about the pressure, this is a funny story. Like, you know, like that they wrote the thing and apparently David kept, because you said the dinosaurs that weren't in the first movie and now they're in this island. So the Stegosaurus specifically, apparently David asked children to send him what they would like to see in a Jurassic Park movie. And some kid was like, we need a Stegosaurus. And they actually put the Stegosaurus in the movie because some kids said they wanted to see a Stegosaurus. And I think there was another note that a kid said, oh, they didn't want any of the boring parts at the beginning. That's what they said. And if you notice, this movie jumps into dinosaur stuff way quicker than the first movie does. So I think it's kind of interesting that the writer of a big Hollywood movie like this was taking notes from kids, but here we are. He did. And they're in there. I don't think they make the movie worse, but you know, he included them, which is kind of cool.
Yep.
All right, Alex, what do you think about this movie now with a little bit more time than our live stream on it?
Well, all right. Well, it's characters that I don't care for. Like you fall in love with the first main three, right? Dr. Grant, Ellie, and Malcolm, right? And then the grandpa, and then the two kids, right? Like They made you like those characters, and then you follow them because they're going through this big disaster of the first film. Then you're going, okay, they greenlight the sequel. How is this going to translate to this? They brought back Malcolm. They didn't bring back the other characters. They did bring back the kids, but for like a 2-second cameo because they disappear. So like once they show them, they all of a sudden just go upstairs and they're gone. You never see them again in the franchise ever again.
Yeah.
Malcolm's character, I liked him quirky and weird. He was not quirky and weird in this movie. They try to make him into an action hero. So for me, it's a trait that the character didn't need. I think he worked best with the original characters because he was feeding off of them with his damn weirdness and his chaos theory on all this stuff. And he didn't do that. They portrayed him as a parent. Well, first of all, a parent that he has a kid. They add his kid into this movie, which we're like, how even... I don't know. I just felt like in terms of the character that where me and Nate always talk about when we do the AMG podcast is that with sequels, do the characters progress? Meaning they're expanding on the character's lore and history and background. While they do a little bit with Malcolm, but it's like they went on the total opposite. You're just like, I really don't care for his daughter because we didn't know about he's divorced 4 times. He said in the first movie or 3 times or whatever.
He had kids in the first movie.
Yeah, he had plenty of kids. So so this is not like his main kid. Like he didn't talk about this. So it's like I didn't care for her. Then you got Vince Vaughn, which he was a good character. Very, he did fit the Jurassic Park world thing. But again, it's just a character that we know we're never going to ever see again with Julianne Moore also. So it's like, it was really hard for me to grasp these characters while watching. I mean, I already know we did the reviews and franchise rankings, but at the end of the day, when I first saw, I remember not liking this movie because I'm like, I could care less about these characters except for Malcolm, because Malcolm was from the first. Honestly, I think the storylines for each of the characters was just, I kind of like the bad guy, Roland, the bald head guy. He was the most interesting of the characters because I honestly felt like he's a character that I kind of liked and wish they brought back. This weird to say, but he was
it's funny that you say that because when I was doing my research, he was apparently the most popular of the new characters that they added. A lot of people liked. Pete Postlewaite is the actor.
And his toy was popular. I remember that. Yeah,
Roland was he was pretty cool. I agree with you. I like him.
He was kind of like the crocodile hunter of the Jurassic world. Like he wants a trophy, but it's not like the over top trophy guy from what was it, Fallen Kingdom that he's ripping tooth out the dinosaurs. I'm like, this is stupid.
And he still has some morals,
a humanity to himself. Yeah, right. Yeah. So even at the end, when the guy's like, "Are you coming back with us?" He goes, "I had enough death. He lost his best friend. He got killed, and he's just like, I don't want nothing to do with this no more." Like he got the T-Rex, he got his trophy, and he was gone. And I kind of liked Raw. I was like, bro, they should have brought him back. He was kind of an anti-hero, really. If you really looked at him, he was paid to do something, but at the end of the day, he still saved them when they were over the cliff. He helped them out. So for me, he was the interesting character. I liked him. John Hammond's cousin with the glasses, the evil villain of X-Gen, whatever the hell he is. I didn't like him at all. He had no layers to him. He was kind of the same generic villain type character that repeats history again. In terms of the storyline, I did not like it. I get it. It's a sequel to the first one. Big whoop. Steven Spielberg is back. I did like his direction in this movie. Certain camera works look great. It looked scary, certain things. I just did not like the story. I felt like it was weak. I mean, we all agree going down the line is all weak anyway. It's not like they become the best of the best.
You're right.
Huh?
I said you're right.
Yeah, it's not like they get better and better. I mean, once they reboot it, that's a different franchise. But if you look at 2 and 3, those two are still weak. It's not like you're going, wow. The T-Rex situation in I didn't care for it. Like, even watching it now, it's like, okay, this is cool. But at the same time, I'm like, this dude could have ate. I mean, how many he could have destroyed? He could have ate so many people going. And they played it safe because it is a kid's movie at the end of the day. Like, if you really do a real, like we laugh with the James Cameron version of it. Literally, that T-Rex would have destroyed LA.
Oh, yeah, he wanted to eat the kid or something like that.
Yeah, he would have ate everything known to man. I mean, he just played it safe. But I don't know. I wasn't too crazy with it. I don't know. It was just a wow factor to throw in there. But it reminded me of another movie, the same situation, like it with the ship coming in and it opens and then the bag. Was it King Kong? Was the same shit? They brought him to New York and then he raised havoc, right?
Yeah. And they put him on display, and then he breaks out, and
it's the same thing. I mean, the only difference is King Kong was displayed, and then he got mad. But other than that, the T-Rex didn't get displayed, but he was about to. So
it was take him to like a
another
new Jurassic Park exhibition,
which I think would have been dope. And then you see him jump out, just eat people. I think that would have been better. But at the end of the day, now talking about it's kind of eerie, dissimilar. But I wasn't too crazy with it. I thought it was a solid sequel. It's just for me, it should have never been done. It does felt rushed, though. I do agree with Evan. It felt like a rush sequel. Let's just pump this sucker out for more toys and stuff. That's what I felt like. But
I was going to add on because I forgot to say, what a stupid premise to say, hey, this park didn't work on an island, but let's bring it to San Diego. Let's think about that. That's your next. I was going to point that the bad guy, what's his name, the son, the nephew that takes over because the kid is attacked on the island. Once again, attack on the island. Let's bring the dinosaurs to America. Let's see how that goes.
Well, it's greed.
Genius eyes, did it?
Right? Yeah, it's greed. It's greed. I mean, if you look at it, it's the same thing with King Kong. They could have left his ass in the jungle, but they decided to greed and they found a 50-foot ape and they wanted to bring him back to display him. It's all about the greed. I get it. I understand it. In a movie form, it didn't work. To me, it didn't work. I just felt like, and just like Malcolm said, you're repeating history from John Hammond. Yeah. It's just gonna. You can't control these animals, but they say they could. I can't wait to hear Nate because Nate is a big supporter of the Lost World.
Well, you know what's funny is I don't disagree with anything any of you guys have said so far either. Okay, let me preface this with, in case no one's ever not familiar with my take on this franchise, I don't love the Jurassic Park franchise. I do not love it. I love Jurassic Park, the first movie. As a franchise, there's some of these that I can watch and enjoy, and there's some that I do not like, period. But if Thanos showed up and snapped his finger and the other sequels were all eliminated, I'd be okay with it. I don't need any of these movies. So I want to start there. That being said, this is one of my favorite sequels of the Jurassic Park franchise. I will say, I do have negatives. Let's start with the negatives. I do think this is where, unlike, I don't think anything in the first movie is dumb. Nothing. I think it's a perfect movie. Whereas this one has a lot of dumb stuff. This is where it started. This one started the dumb stuff, and then the rest of the movies have a bunch of dumb stuff in them. The girl, the daughter, I think the character, I like her. Sometimes kid actors, I've already said this can be a little annoying. I think these first two movies have some of the least annoying kid actors in them. I think Tim and Lex were great in the first. I think she's really good. I think Kelly is her name, the character. She's good. I don't dislike her. But the whole thing with the gymnastics, and then she's spinning on the thing and she kicks the raptor. First of all, that raptor probably weighs 300 pounds. And she kicks
more than that shit, bro.
That's a low estimate. 300 pounds. She kicks it and it goes flying. I'm like, And she weighs 85 pounds. She's a skinny little thing. So I've never liked that scene. They foreshadow it. She does gymnastics, whatever. I was like, oh boy. I did not think that what was going to happen was there's going to be the bars that she could conveniently swing from. Why is that bar even there? Whatever, I digress. I don't like that. I think it's dumb. I agree with you, Alex, in that some of these characters, they're just there. I agree. Julianne Moore and Jeff Goldblum have good chemistry, but her character is I don't care. She's supposed to be the girl version of Dr. Grant, pretty much.
But cooler. She's the cooler version.
But she's not cooler. But she's supposed to be, but she's not. And she's okay. She's okay, but I don't really care. I do like Vince Vaughn in the movie.
He's funny.
And then the other guy, the guy that gets eaten, that is just that. I kind of liked him, and he just gets eaten. He didn't.
The tech guy.
Yeah, I was like, okay, this guy's in the computers, and he has them. They have those cool Mercedes Jeeps in this movie, which pretty sick. But nothing. So I agree. The characters are nowhere near as interesting. I do like Jeff Goldblum in the movie. I think he's fine. You're right. It is a bit of a change, but I think it makes sense because he's mad in this movie. He's upset that this guy, that already all this bad stuff happened, and then he sends his girlfriend, who he loves, to go die, and he's already experienced this, and then his daughter sneaks on. So yeah, he's not as quirky and weird because he's scared the whole time they're all gonna die, and he's like angry about it. So it does work for me, but I see what you're saying there. Roland is the best new character. I would have loved to seen him get like he should have been in Jurassic Park 3. I'm not even gonna lie. He should have been. And I would have liked to see him and Grant do the rescue mission or whatever to like go get that stupid kid from Part 3. But I digress. He's good. Okay, but on the positives, I just think this movie has some great sequences. I like this more for the sequences than like the overall story. Because Evan, you touched on it. Like, why does this island exist? How come nobody ever talked about it? How come nobody, like we have a Site B? It makes sense why it's there, but it's just kind of comes out of nowhere for this sequel. You know what I mean? It would have made more sense if they sent him back to the original island because there's something there that, was needed or whatever, than to send him to a alternate one. So while the story's not great, I think some of the sequences are fantastic. I love, I kind of like the opening. I think it sets you up for like, this movie's not playing no games. I had a little kid on the beach getting eaten by these little dinosaurs. They're not holding as the punches this time with the like children being in jeopardy, which I respect. But I love the T-Rex sequence. I do, with the 2 T-Rexes and the trailers going off the cliff. Like I think I think it's the second best T-Rex scene in the whole franchise. The first one, obviously is the most iconic. This one's great. And the fact that there's 2 of them and the fact that there's this baby, there's a lot of suspense. There's not a lot of music playing during that scene. Then you have you eat the guy. Then you have to go over the ledge. Then you have the suspense with the glass cracking. Like, I love it. I think it's a great sequence. I also like the one where they're running through the fields and you have the raptors. Like, the raptors are like coming at them. Mm-hmm. You just see the tails. Great sequence. So, and I do like this. Besides the gymnastics part, I like the raptor sequence in that whole with that abandoned like lab or whatever it is. Yeah, it's awesome. So I think there's good moments. I do like the end with the T-Rex running around the city. Yes, it's played for laughs a lot of times, like with the swimming pool and he's like drinking the water and the kid is like, these dinosaurs, and the parents are like, go to sleep, whatever. Like, okay, this is kind of silly, but
that was Elliot. That was Elliot from E.T., the sister. Yeah, he was the dad.
Yeah. So like I like the idea of the T-Rex running around regular population, and that's something, not to go off topic, but like that's one of the reasons why I don't like this franchise is that they never capitalized on getting these things in where regular people live, not in a good way ever. And so this was like the closest that they came to like what would happen if one of these dinosaurs, it'd be like, what if a lion escaped a zoo and was like running around a neighborhood? It'd be scary as heck.
So he would eat everybody.
Yeah, exactly. That would be like, that would be crazy. Yeah, someone got to make that movie. Anyway, the lion gets loose from the zoo. Anyway, so I do like sequences of it. I do think it is a decent sequel that does not need to exist. I don't hate this movie at all. I don't even have a hard time watching it, really. Like, not as easy as the first one, where it's like piece of cake. I'll watch it right now. This one, though, I'm not like, I got to sit through The Lost World. No, it's fine. I've also seen it a lot of times. It came out. I did see this one in the theater. I was 10. So, it's a movie that I've seen a lot of times. But I enjoy it. I think it's solid. I'm surprised so many people hate it. One of the reviews I read when I was doing the research was like, it's Spielberg's worst movie. I'm like, no, not even close. No way. That person never saw, what was that, 1941 or whatever. Yeah. Like, there's no way.
I don't think it's Steven Spielberg's worst movie. I just think of it. It's a weak story. Like if you put it up against it's a weak, like compared to Always in 1941. It's up there. These 3 are, you could connect these 3. It's a very weak storyline. I don't think it's his worst movie. I can't see that.
Close to his worst.
No. But it's a weak story. It's a very weak story. But one funny scene though was, and I always laugh. I don't know why I laugh at it. Is when they get there and they're looking for Julianne Moore's character, Sarah. Yeah. Right. And they're screaming, Sarah, Sarah. And then all of a sudden Vince Vaughn goes, Sarah Harding. And he goes, how many Sarahs you think is he? I don't know. I always laugh at the same part. I'm always laughing. I'm like, so stupid. He's like, yeah.
The way he's yelling too is really
yeah.
cool.
He's like, Sarah Harding. He's like, how many Sarahs are in the jungle?
Why are you saying her last name as if that's like, never.
It is pretty funny. And then the Spanish scene, right? When the guy's like, I'm not gonna take you this longer. He goes, wow. And then he was like, what happened? He was like, he said the 5 deaths.
Oh yeah.
Remember the Cinco Muertes?
Yes. That other guy, what's that? Peter Stormare, the guy from John Wick 2. That he gets in by the little by them little things too.
That's a memorable scene in terms of the mini velociraptors eating them.
Yeah, those things have a crazy name that I don't know how to pronounce, but like the part where it's like biting his lip always made me laugh. Just like, so apparently that scene, that's how John Hammond dies in the original book. He dies in the original book, by the way.
He does?
You ever read Jurassic Park? Yeah, he dies and he gets eaten by those things in that book. And so to do an homage, because they didn't kill him in the movies, they had that guy die by those little things in the movie. Wow. So there's a couple other things too. I think in the sequel book, there's 2 kids, and here they're just like put together and it's just Kelly. So they did a couple things a little different than the sequel.
Are they Malcolm's kids in the book? Do you know?
I think so, but I didn't all the way confirm. I just saw that it had like these 2 names and they just kind of morphed it into one character.
I think it would have been more interesting if it was Malcolm's son and daughter in the whole, in the whole thing, because it would have been more funnier him interacting with his 2 kids than when there's one daughter, which they didn't have they didn't have no chemistry. As a father and daughter, they had none at all.
Which makes kind of sense, though, because he's kind of weird. He's not with her all the time.
Yeah.
I never thought of that as an issue because to me, he seemed like a deadbeat dad in the first one. The way he talked about it, that he's not in this kid's life and that this adventure is what's making them have a relationship.
No, I get it. But like, I'm saying, like, if I want to, if I compare it, right, to another Steven Spielberg movie, which we're about to do in like 5 months from now, whenever we get to it, The World of the Worlds, Tom Cruise and his son don't have a great relationship, but they feel like father and son when they bantering with each other. You understand what I mean? Like,
I hate that kid.
See again. So for me, but like that's what I'm saying. Like if you put those 2 together, you could feel the anger. Like this one, I just felt like there was just bad actress and a good actor together. But that's just me.
That's fair. All right. So with that said, we all gave our take. I mean, none of us hate it per se, but again, I will say that I stand on that flag. I'll plant my flag on that hill. I'll die on it. I think this movie is way better than Jurassic Park 3. I know Jurassic Park 3 has more fans. I don't know why. I think it's way worse. It's stupid. It's way stupider than this movie. And that kid is the worst. No, it's way stupider. Now, you could say the storyline is not. No, it's not better. I don't think there's anything better in Part 3. Part 3 sucks to me, but I know it has fans. I'm just not one of them. But anyway, what are our scores? Evan, what do you give this film?
I ended up with a 7.
Nice.
Modest.
7 out of 10.
Modest.
Alex, what do we got over there?
All right, so I'm a little tricky here because I have a wonky story. Because then I got to compare it to Close Encounters, and I gave that one a 4. Ooh. So I'm like, is this one better than Close Encounters? I enjoy Lost World. I mean, for all the crap that we give it, I enjoyed it for what it is. But yeah, I'm going to give it a 4 out of a 10 because it's not better than E.T. and E.T. is a 5.
Okay.
So I have
what
a
you're
weird.
doing there. I like how you're like comparing it against the other ones for the ranking portion.
Yeah. So for me, like if I'm gonna be honest in terms of it, I don't think it's a 5. I don't think it's ET level 5 because that's the middle for me.
ET level 5. Everyone else gives ET like a 9. ET level 5.
ET level of 5. I'm gonna give it a 4. I think it's in par for me with Close Encounters. While I could watch
a graphic of ET on this, like
I'm gonna give you a graphic. Next week I'm gonna do it. My ranking
5.
Graphic. Yeah. So 4.
Okay, so 7 from Evan. 7 from Evan. 4 for Alex. I have a 7 as well. Like just a regular, basic, soft 7. I think it's a good movie. I don't think it's a bad movie. I just don't, I don't like the only bad thing about it is that it led to 5 more of these things.
Yeah.
It opened the door because it made so much money. This was a big hit. If this would have failed, there would not have been 3, world plus, whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I still think they might have made one more
a
to
reboot,
see if it market because the graphics and where computers was, I think, hey, now we can really do stuff with dinosaurs. I think it would have been. But I find it funny that you said that about E.T. E.T.'s probably my judge of character or judge of rating. It's just my E.T.'s at a 7. But that's how I'm looking at my scores. I'm like,
there you go.
Yeah, Sugarland Express. You have 1941. They're all below E.T. And then if it's okay, it's above E.T. I don't know. E.T. might be my middle common denominator.
Your guys' litmus test is E.T.
Mine's is E.T. and Hook is 5. That's my middle ground. Because other than that, my number 4 is Always. Number 2 is 1941. Number 4, Close Encounters, and that's it. Those are the lowest I got. Everything else is above E.T. and Hook in terms of film. So yeah, that's my
my ranking is totally different than y'all's, but you know what? That's why it's gonna be fun. That's why this ranking show is gonna be a lot of fun.
Oh, it's gonna be hilarious.
Where these things end up because someone put it way low and ruined it for everybody else.
Oh, it's gonna be me, most likely.
Well, it'll all come out in the wash anyway, because you gotta. Even if you have a bunch of stuff that's less than a 5, then ET will still rank in the middle.
Our live show has ET at the bottom, worst Spielberg movie of all time.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, no way.
Yeah.
Close Encounters.
No, you're gonna hit me. Evan Stam scoring Close Encounter. Raise that stupid.
Evan put it too high.
Put it as a 9.
Anyway, at the halfway point, this has been a lot of fun. Next up, the second movie from 1997. Again, Spielberg with the double movie year, and that would be Amistad, which Evan, you've seen. You have to have seen that one as a history guy. Okay, but Alex, you've never seen.
I thought it was the Mozart movie. So
sure you did. You asked me if it was Mozart.
No, we should have told him. Imagine him going in. Where's the piano?
Oh, you're right. I should have said
where's
the piano? I thought this was about music.
I thought it was about
a slave. Okay, so a courtroom drama from 1997. A different Spielberg movie, which I always like when we get these ones that are like, when he goes out and does something that's not what is like expected, right? I like how when he goes like tentpole movie, drama, tentpole movie, drama. This is the drama because it sits in between The Lost World and Saving Private Ryan is Amistad, right in the middle. So good cast in that one. Anthony Hopkins, Matthew McConaughey, Jaimin Hunsu. I think it was his debut film and he's great in this movie. Well, you'll see he's great. Yeah, it's a very good Morgan Freeman as well. So this is like the awards baity type movie. And we'll see how it goes with Amistad. So anyway, that is The Lost World, Jurassic Park. That's our take. Leave a comment below. Let us know what you think about this movie. Of course, if you're not already, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit the bell icon. That way you get notified when new videos drop. Alex's 4K reviews. These every Friday when the new director spotlight comes out, you'll get notified. And of course, we'll be going live again very soon. So yeah, make sure you're subscribed. Leave us a comment. Give us a thumbs up. Until next time, be awesome to each other and geek out.